Here we will be solving problems on coefficient of variation under continuous series. And here this problem will explain how to calculate the coefficient of variation under continuous series. And here two brands of tires are tested for their life, and the following results were obtained. The life in terms of months, which are given in the first column as class interval, and the number of tires with respect to brand x and brand y are given. So if consistency is the criterion, which brand of tires would you prefer? So here this problem which is based on the continuous series, and here we have to compute coefficient of variation, and we have to interpret the result which is based on the values of the coefficient of variation, and and we have to prefer which type of tires uh, if consistency is the base. And here separately we have to calculate CV for brand A, brand X and brand Y. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈರ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ವೈ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಏನು ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ವೈ. ಸೊ ಲೈಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ number of tires brand x frequency and brand y frequency for brand y ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. So separately we have to compute the values of coefficient of variation, and we have to interpret the result after calculating CV for both brand x and brand y. And we have to suggest that which type of tire is better, or the prefer based on the consistency. And here so tire brand x ಸೊ ಏನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45. This is what class interval first column ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. And then from this we have to calculate mid value or midpoint. So that can be calculated as L plus U by 2. 20 plus 25 by 2 equals 22.5. 25 plus 30 by 2 equals 27.5. 30 plus 35 by 2 equals 32.5. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಥವಾ ಮಿಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಏನು ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಎ, ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕಾಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎಮ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ by C. M minus A by C. A means assumed value which is to be taken in the calculated the mid values, and C means class interval difference. M 22.5 minus 32.5 divided by class interval size of the class or difference of the class interval 5. Means 22.5 minus 32.5 divided by 5 equals minus 2. 27.5 minus 32.5 by 5 minus 1. 32.5 minus 32.5 by 5 0. 37.5 minus 32.5 by 5 plus 1, 42.5 minus 37.5 by 5 plus 2. So this is the way in which we are going to calculate d, and then f into d equals fd. 1 into minus 2 minus 2, 22 into minus 1 minus 22, 64 into 0 0. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಇಂಟು ಡಿ ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್, minus 2 into minus 2 4, minus 1 into minus 22 22, 0 into 0 0, 1 into 10 10, 2 into 6 12. So finally we have to add the sum of means sigma fd ಎಷ್ಟು, sigma fd ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಸಿಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ sigma fd square is equal to 48, sigma fd is equal to minus 8, and n is equal to 100 total frequency. So after preparing this table, so then find the values of arithmetic mean and standard deviation by applying the formula. X bar is equal to a plus sigma fd by n into c. A equals 32.5 assumed value plus sigma fd minus 8 by n 100 into c 5. So therefore 32.5 plus into minus 8 5 is 40 by 100 equals 0.4, which is equal to 32.9. So 32 plus into minus 8 5 is 40, 32.1 months. This is what the value of x bar, 32.5 minus 0.4. Now standard deviation can also be calculated by using this formula. Sigma is equal to root of sigma fd square by n minus sigma fd by n whole square into 100, because this is continuous series. Root of sigma fd square 40 by n total frequency 100 minus of sigma fd minus 8 by 100 whole square into 5. Now root of 0.48 minus 0.0064 into 5. Therefore root of 0.4736 into 5. So therefore the square root of 0.4736 is 0.6682 into 5 equals 3.441 month. Now coefficient of variation can be calculated as CV is equal to mean sigma by mean into 100. So sigma 3.441 by mean 32.1 into 100 equals 10.72%. This is what coefficient of variation of Brond X. Now computation of in the same way we have to compute coefficient of variation for Brond Y, and here class interval same, that is to be taken in the first column, and ಮಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಫ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಬ್ರಾಂಡ್ ವೈ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಮ್ ಮೈನಸ್ 32.5 by 5, 22.5 minus 32.5 by 5 is equal to minus 2, 27.5 minus 22.5 by 5 minus 1. So ಹೀಗೆ 0 1 2, and then f into d fd 3 into minus 2 minus 6, 21 into minus 1 minus 21, 74 into 0 0, and then 1 2. So then finally we have to make the product of fd into d, fd square, minus 2 into minus 6 12, minus 1 into minus 21 21, 0 into 0 0, 1 into 1 1, 2 2s are 4. Then find the sum of fd square, fd and m, means f. Here sigma fd square is equal to 38, sigma fd is equal to minus 24, and n, total frequency 100. Now arithmetic mean can be calculated as x bar is equal to a plus sigma fd by n into c. So this is the formula to calculate arithmetic mean. So already you know. And here the value of a, assumed value 32.5 plus sigma fd minus 24 by n 100 into 5. So therefore by simplifying this we will have the value of x bar is equal to 31.3 months. So similarly calculate standard deviation. Standard deviation can be calculated as sigma is equal to root of sigma fd square by n minus sigma fd by n whole square into c. Now sigma fd square 38 by 100 minus 24 by 100 whole square into 5. Therefore root of 0.38 minus 0.0576 into 5. So therefore root of 0.3224 into 5. So therefore the square root of 0.3224 is 0.5678 into 5. Therefore the value of standard deviation is 2.84 months. Now calculate CV. CV is equal to sigma by mean into 100, 2.890 by 31.3 into 100 is equal to 9.07%. So here now compare coefficient of variation of both brand x and brand y uh, to conclude to make the interpretation. And here the coefficient of variation of brand x is 10.72%, and the coefficient of variation of brand y is 9.07%. So therefore coefficient of variation is less for brand y. So therefore brand y is more consistent because the coefficient of variation is less than that of brand x. So because if consistency is the criterion, brand y is better, or prefer their prefer y brand tire. So this is the way in which we can make the conclusion or make the interpretation. Now another problem you take here, the life of the bulbs produced by two companies A and B are given below. So length of life and number of bulbs company A and company B, and the bulbs of which company are more consistent in length of life. So more consistent ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲಿ. So in order to say more consistent in a length of life, so the coefficient of variation is to be calculated, and uh, so which company's bulb is less in coefficient of variation, so that is to be known as more consistent in the length of life. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ class interval length of life ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ and number of bulbs ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಕಂಪನಿ and ಕಂಪನಿ ಬಿ. ಸೊ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು coefficient of variation CV ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So in order to compare consistency or coefficient of variation of life of the bulbs produced by both the companies are to be found out. Now computation of coefficient of variation for bulbs of company A. Separately we have to compute CV of company A and company B. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಯು ಬೈ 2, 500 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 700 ಬೈ 2, 600, 700 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 900 ಬೈ 2, 800, 900 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1100 by 2, 2000 by 2 and 1000. So likewise m is to be calculated. Then you take f frequency of company A. So 5, 11, 26, 10, 8. Next D can be calculated as D is equal to m minus A by C. M mid value and minus A assumed value. Here 1000 is taken as assumed value, and C means difference of the class interval. Means in each case we find 200 is the size or magnitude of the class interval. So 600 minus 1000 by 200 minus 2, 800 minus 1000 by 200 minus 1, 1000 minus 1000 by 200 0 plus 1 plus 2. So like that. And f into d, fd 5 into minus 2 minus 10, 11 into minus 1 minus 11, 26 into 0 0. So ಇದೇ ಥರ in the same way we have to calculate the product of fd and d. Fd square minus 2 into minus 10 plus 20 minus 11 into minus 1 plus 11, 0 into 0 0, 10 into 1 10, 16 into 2 32. Now make the sum of all these. Now find sigma fd square 73, sigma fd plus 5, n total frequency 60. Now mean can be calculated as x bar is equal to a plus sigma fd by n into c. A assumed value 1000 plus sigma fd by 5 divided by 60 into 200. 1000 plus 5 2s 10. 1000 by 60, 16.67 is equal to 1016.67 hours. Now calculate standard deviation. Here standard deviation can be calculated as sigma is equal to root of sigma fd square by n minus sigma fd by n whole square into c. And here root of sigma fd square 73 by 60 minus sigma fd 5 by 60 whole square into 200. Now root of 1.2167 minus 0.00694 into 200. Therefore root of 1.20692 into 200 is equal to square root of 1.20972 is 1.09987 into 200 is equal to 219.975 hours. So therefore coefficient of variation can be calculated as CV is equal to sigma by arithmetic mean into 100, sigma 219.975 by 1016.67 into 100. Therefore 21.64% is the value of coefficient of variation. So similarly we have to calculate a coefficient of variation for bulbs of company B. Now class interval ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಮಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮಿಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 500 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 700 divided by 2, 600, 700 plus 900 by 2, 800, and 900 plus 1100 by 2, 1000, 1000 2000 by 2 is equal to 1000. 1100 plus 1300 by 2 1200. So and then 1300 plus 1500 by 2 is equal to 1400. Now here frequency is to be taken in the third column, and d is equal to m minus a by c. Here m mid value, m minus a, here 1000 is taken as assumed value, and c size of the class interval. So m 600 minus 1000 by 200 is equal to minus 2. 800 minus 1000 by 200 minus 1. 1000 minus 1000 by 200 equals 0. 1200 minus 1000 by 200 plus 1 plus 2. Then f into d, fd, 4 into minus 2 minus 8, 30 into minus 1 minus 30, 12 into 0 0, 8 into plus 1 8, 6 into 2 12, and then fd into d, fd square, minus 8 into minus 2 16, minus 30 into minus 1 plus 30, 0 into 0 0, 8 into 1 8, 12 into 2 24. Therefore the sum of all these fd square, fd and f or sigma fd square is equal to 78, sigma fd is equal to minus 18, and n is equal to 60 total frequency. Now substitute these values into the formula. So arithmetic mean is equal to a plus sigma fd by n into c. A assumed value 1000 plus sigma fd minus 18 by total frequency n 20 into c 200 is equal to 1000 plus into minus minus 18 into 200, 3600 by 20, 60. So 1000 minus 60 equals 960 hours. Now standard deviation can be calculated as sigma is equal to root of sigma fd square by n minus sigma fd by n whole square into c. Root of sigma fd square 78 by 60 minus minus 18 by 60 whole square into 200. So therefore root of 1.3 minus 0.09 into 200 is equal to root of 1.21 into 200. So therefore square root of 1.21 is 1.1 into 200 is equal to 220 hours. So therefore coefficient of variation can be calculated as CV is equal to sigma by mean into 100 is equal to 220 by 940 into 100 is equal to 23.40%. So therefore the coefficient of variation of company A of company A company A is 21.64% and company B 23.40%. Therefore the coefficient of variation of company A is less than that of coefficient of variation of company B. Therefore company A is more consistent because CV is less than that of company B. So therefore if consistency is the criterion, so company A is preferred. So this is therefore this is the way in which we are going to compute the values of coefficient of variation of both company A and company B bulb A and bulb B and tire A and tire B. So this is what the method of computing the values of coefficient of variation and interpreting the result.